Sha'Carri Richardson, world champion, gold medalist, and the fastest woman alive. She just landed in a tiny Australian town of 6,000 people. She lined up 9 meters behind the pack. To win, she had to hunt every single runner down. What she did next was a historic first for American women. Sha'Carri was born March 25, 2000 in Dallas, Texas. Raised by her grandmother, her talent exploded early. Back at Carter High School in Dallas, she dominated, winning state titles in the 100 and 200 meters. Next stop was LSU, and in 2019, at just 19, she shattered 2 world under-20 records in one day at the NCAA championships. She qualified for the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, but a positive cannabis test led to a suspension. Her Olympic dreams were crushed. She owned it and fought her way back. The suspension took Tokyo away, but it could never touch her speed. The version of her that returned was different. She struggled in 2022, finishing dead last at the Prefontaine Classic. She fell out of the top 30 global rankings. People said she was finished, but she is used to being doubted. In 2023, she became the world champion in Budapest, clocking a record 10.65 seconds. She also grabbed relay gold. A year later in Paris, she took silver in the 100, finishing just behind Julian Alfred. Then, she took the anchor baton for Team USA relay while sitting in a distant 4th place. She blasted past 2 countries to secure gold. Crossing that line, she gave the competition her signature stare. That is the icon who walked into Stawell, Australia, in April 2026, a world champion and gold medalist. 26 years old and in peak form. But the Stawell Gift does not care about titles. This legendary race has been running since 1878. That is 148 years of history, older than the modern Olympics. It happens every Easter in Stawell, a small town in Victoria, Australia, about 235 kilometers west of Melbourne. The race is 120 meters on grass, sprinting uphill toward a grandstand that is over a century old. But here is the catch: it is unlike any other sprint. Every runner has a different starting block thanks to a unique handicap system. Officials study every runner's past times and assign a specific starting mark. A slower athlete might start 8, 9, or even 10 meters ahead of the rest. Elite pros start from scratch the very back with 0 head start. The goal is for the entire field to cross the finish line at the exact same moment. Of course, someone always wins, and that winner usually is not the fastest person there. That is why winning from the back is nearly impossible. You do not just have to be fast. You have to be fast enough to destroy the gap the system built against you. Elite sprinters often leave Stawell humbled. This handicap has crushed names much bigger than the town itself. In over a century of men's racing, only 2 have won from scratch. The women's race started in 1989. Before April 2026, only 2 women had ever won it from the back: Melissa Breen and Brie Rizzo. Sha'Carri Richardson was not focused on joining them, she just wanted to run. Saturday's heats were first. Running from scratch, Richardson took her heat in a blistering 13.82 seconds. That was with a 9-meter disadvantage to make up. She was moving on to the semifinals. Her partner, Christian Coleman, also advanced. The former world champion won his heat in 12.68 seconds. Easter Monday arrived. 6,000 fans packed Central Park, waiting for the high-stakes semifinals and the big final. Cameras were rolling for national TV. The carnival energy that Stawell is famous for was reaching a fever pitch, but Richardson almost blew it before the final even started. In the semifinal, she came out like a rocket. She was eating up the ground. She was exactly where she needed to be to win. Then, disaster. She stood up too early. She stopped driving and straightened her back. Her brain thought the race was over before she actually hit the finish line. Local runner Hallie Martin surged forward, nearly stealing the win. A photo finish was needed. The gap was 0.07 of a second. Not even a full 100th. Richardson was through, but it was close. The crowd knew the final could go either way now, but Richardson did not make any excuses. She did not shrug it off. In her post-race interview on Channel 7, she took full responsibility immediately. "I keep doing that," she admitted. We are working on it, but I will definitely run through the line for the finals. The final was 2 hours away. Meanwhile, Coleman could not find that same Saturday magic. He was knocked out in his semifinal, unable to close the massive handicap gap. He would be watching from the stands. Richardson had her own battle to fight. 6 women crouch on the turf. The girl to beat teenage sensation Charlotte Nielsen. She started 9 full meters ahead of Richardson. In a 120-meter sprint, that gap is a wall. Then, a false start halts everything. Richardson stayed cool, waited, and reset. The gun cracks again. She explodes from the blocks with patient, measured control. Then she hits top gear. She starts hunting the field. 60 meters, 70, 80. Still trailing, still chasing. She closes that final 30 meters the way real-world champions do. Nielsen cannot hold on. That 9-meter lead simply vanishes. Richardson hits the tape in 13.07 seconds, the fastest time in this race since 2006. She lets out a roar and opens her arms. 3 women, that is the entire list. Melissa Breen was the first to win from scratch in 2012. Bree Rizzo became the second in 2025, and now Richardson joins them. 3 women in 37 years of competition. Richardson is the only non-Australian on the list. She is the lone world champion, and she just clocked the fastest time ever seen here. The prize, 40,000 Australian dollars, roughly 27,800 US. That is modest compared to the Diamond League, but Richardson was not out there for the money. She celebrated with fans and hugged Coleman. She spoke to the crowd, looking truly stunned by where she found herself. "Thank you for having me," she said. "It feels truly humbling. So far from home, yet so appreciated on this track. I have just been enjoying myself, having a great time here in Stawell. This is something I have never experienced before." The Stawell Gift has been telling this same story since 1878. The fast get humbled. This handicap system levels everything. Big names fly in, face a gap they cannot close, and go home. Sha'Carri Richardson did not go home with a story like that. She went home with a trophy, a record, and a spot in history shared by only 2 other women. Her first outdoor race of 2026. The Diamond League, the World Athletics Championships, all of it is still to come. She used Easter Monday in a small Australian town to sharpen her edges, test her patience, and remind everyone exactly who she is.